Tonight, our next lot of heat winners are back to snare the second spot in the semi-finals. They nailed their specialist subject, but how will they go with the unknowns of the general knowledge round? I'm Mark Fennell, and this is your Friday edition of Mastermind. Good evening and welcome to Mastermind. Tonight, our winners from this week are back to try their luck at a spot in the semi-finals, and here they are. Our first finalist tonight is writer Eliza Jansen. Eliza won up against both a husband and wife team and also her dad with her specialist subject, Mothman, The Legacy and Prophecies. Next, Managing Director Russell Schulman scored his spot by winning through a tiebreaker, and his subject was the New Orleans Pelicans. Our third finalist is Communications Manager Carolyn Alan, who won her heat with her knowledge of the children's writer Roald Dahl. And finally, audio presenter and producer James Sterling Wilson won last night with his vast knowledge of the UK band Radiohead. Each of them will have 2 minutes of general knowledge questions plus the dreaded slow burn round. Only one of them, though, will secure a place in the semi-finals to play for the Mastermind Bowl, designed by artist Dennis Golding, and of course the title of Australia's Mastermind. Let's get started. Time for our first contender. Your name?
Eliza Jansen.
Occupation?
Writer.
And how big a reaction did you get from your family when you won?
Yeah, my mum lost it. It was great. I don't know.
So you beat Dad by 1 point, which is exactly what he predicted. He sat in the chair and he completely predicted it.
He made a Mothman prophecy and it came true.
He did.
Yeah, it's so scary.
OK, well, I wasn't sold on Mothman before, but maybe now I am. And maybe it's your dad. This blows it all wide open. All right, Eliza, are you ready?
Yeah.
Your time starts now. What three-letter word for a tennis shot played high above the opponent's head is also an Aussie slang word meaning to arrive or show up?
Ace.
Lob. The Negroni is a popular cocktail traditionally made by mixing gin, vermouth and what Italian red bitter liqueur?
Cranberry juice.
Campari. Yeah. What is the name of Uma Thurman and Ethan Hawke's daughter, who plays schoolteacher June Douglas in Wes Anderson's Asteroid City?
Maya Hawke.
Correct. Noongar icon Nicky Winmar famously raised his jumper and pointed to his skin in a stance against racism in a game in which professional sporting league?
AFL.
Correct. Holding office from 1986 to 1992, the first female president of the Philippines with Corazon who?
Mothman.
Aquino. At the end of Mozart's Don Giovanni, the immoral and rakish title character is transported to where?
Heaven.
Hell. Although filled with flammable hydrogen on its disastrous final trip, the German airship Hindenburg had been designed to use which other gas?
Helium?
Correct. The hypoglossal nerve emerges directly from the brain and stimulates almost all of the muscles of which versatile organ?
The tongue?
Correct. Australian crime fiction author Jennifer Rowe has written popular children's series including Del Toro Quest and Rowan of Rin under what pseudonym?
Emily Rodder.
Correct. American James Donaldson, a YouTube megastar and philanthropist, is best known by his professional name, Mr. What?
Beast.
Correct. Port Fairy, Lorne, Apollo Bay and Torquay are coastal towns found in which Australian state?
Victoria.
Correct. The four central characters in the TV sitcom Seinfeld are Jerry, George, Kramer and which other character played by Julia Louis-Dreyfus?
My fave, Elaine.
Correct. The 1883 eruption of Krakatoa is believed to have inspired the blood red sky, depicted in which Edvard Munch painting?
The Scream?
Correct. Troopergate and Whitewater were names given to controversial allegations that affected the political career of which US president?
Donald Trump.
Clinton. Once used for the lengths of horse races, what unit of imperial measurement is equal to 1/8 of a mile?
An eighth of a mile. A yard?
To say furlong.
Yeah, of course.
9 points out of that round. How are you feeling about that?
Bad, but
Why?
I know all the answers. When you've said them, I'm like, oh, of course, yeah.
You could definitely use a Negroni after that round, but you've still got slow burn to go. For now, head back to your chair.
Thank you.
Time for our second contender. Your name?
Russell Schulman,
Occupation?
Managing Director.
And you survived the first tiebreaker of this season. How was that experience for you?
It was crazy. I was very excited by it. I was not expecting to make it through at all.
And here you are. So, you've been through a general knowledge round before. Are there particular areas that you are hoping are going to be in this collection?
Going back to my old one, potato questions would be great. Otherwise, anything to do with animals is something of great interest, so that'd be good.
Animals and potatoes. Meat and potatoes, as it were. Russell, are you ready?
Yes.
Your time starts now. A direct flight from Perth, Western Australia, to Johannesburg, South Africa, takes passengers across which ocean?
Atlantic.
Indian. Created by an anonymous entity calling itself Satoshi Nakamoto and appearing in 2009, what is the most widely used digital currency?
Bitcoin.
Correct. Which US filmmaker won an Oscar for the documentary Bowling for Columbine and was nominated again for the healthcare expose Sicko?
Michael Moore.
Correct. In 2023, former Socceroos coach Ange Postecoglou was appointed the manager of which English Premier League club?
Tottenham Hotspurs.
Correct. The first Australian Prime Minister to win 3 consecutive elections and the first to die in office was Joseph who?
Barton.
Lions. Hackney Diamonds, featuring late drummer Charlie Watts, is the latest studio album by which legendary British band?
The Rolling Stones.
Correct. A popular anecdote about which ancient Greek mathematician has him leaping from his bath and running naked through the streets shouting, Eureka!
Archimedes.
Correct. Denise Scott and Matt Okine star in a 2023 reboot of which Australian sitcom that originally featured Ruth Cracknell and Gary McDonald?
The Murphy Files.
Mother and Son. Paco Rabanne is a pseudonym and brand name used by an influential fashion designer born in which country?
Italy.
Spain. Used for the original writing of the Quran, what has been the language of Islamic scholarship for more than 1,000 years?
Aramaic.
Arabic. Cowed on a Hot Tin Roof and A Streetcar Named Desire are Pulitzer Prize-winning works by which American playwright?
J.D. Salinger.
Tennessee Williams. The first non-human to learn American Sign Language, Washoe, was a female of what primate species that shares more than 90% of its DNA with humans?
Chimpanzee.
Correct. Who painted Girl with Balloon, which self-destructed by shredding itself shortly after being sold at Sotheby's in 2018?
Banksy.
Correct. Cartoon legend Porky Pig always sports a sharp blue blazer and natty red bow tie, but famously never wears what standard article of clothing?
Pants.
Correct. And out of that round, you picked up 8 points. Were you hoping for more?
No.
Are you happy that you got 8?
I am very happy with 8. That's a great number.
Sadly, no potatoes questions.
No potatoes, but 8 is good.
Head back to your chair for me. Time for our third contender. Name?
Carolyn Alan.
Occupation?
Communications Manager.
You seem very calm on the surface. How are you feeling underneath the surface?
Well, the competition is stiff and impressive, so, well, have a good time.
All right. Are you ready?
Yep.
Your time starts now. In the term Nepo baby, used to describe successful children of celebrities, the word Nepo is short for what?
Nepotism.
Correct. Who surpassed a record set by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to become the highest all-time point scorer in NBA history in February 2023?
Shaquille O'Neal.
LeBron James. The Australian musical group Yothu Yindi won the 1992 ARIA Song of the Year award for which track?
Tracy.
Correct. Starting in Paris and travelling through Europe before arriving in Istanbul was which luxury train service made famous by Agatha Christie?
The Orient Express.
Correct. Under which queen did England lose the port of Calais, its last possession on the continent, to forces led by Francis, Duke of Guise?
Elizabeth I.
Mary I. What is the common name for the Procyon lotor, a mammal native to North America with a bushy ringed tail and dark fur in the shape of a bandit mask?
Skunk.
Raccoon. Director Ken G. Hall won Australia's first Oscar for a documentary on the World War II campaign fought on which notorious New Guinea track?
Kokoda.
Correct. Of the 8 planets in our solar system, which gas giant is more than twice as massive as all the other planets combined?
Jupiter.
Correct. Under Australian trademark laws, what word is represented by a letter R inside a small circle displayed next to a trademark?
Registered.
Correct. After the first series of The White Lotus was set in Hawaii, the second series was set in and around which Italian island?
Capri.
Sicily. Trepanning, a medical procedure that dates back to ancient times, involves drilling a hole in which bony structure of the human body?
Skull.
Correct. Lake Baikal, the oldest existing freshwater lake on Earth, as well as the deepest continental body of water, is located in which country?
Africa.
Russia. Although it has recently been applied to meat from various sources, brisket traditionally refers to meat taken from the chest of which animal?
Cow.
Correct. What Nashville-based rock band consisting of three brothers and their cousin sometimes has its name shortened to KOL?
Kings of Leon.
Correct. What I can say is that you did get 9 points. You feeling good about that?
Yeah, that's good.
Head back to your chair for me. After the break, James, an expert on Radiohead, will put his general knowledge to the test, and we will see you in just a moment.
This is Frank. He's never hugged a tree. In fact, Frank has never even watered a plant. That's why he drinks Four Pines, a beer that does loads of good stuff. Thanks for everything, Frank. You drink the beer, we'll do the good stuff.
We love our Aussie summers. Nothing beats a day on the water. And with the Isuzu D-Max, you can find your very own stretch. Be it a sunrise surf or a day out with the family. Summer goes further with the Isuzu D-Max. And with stock available, you can have your own before you know it. Live your own way in the Isuzu D-Max.
Nova, the home of the Chrissy Swan Show, 2 to 4 weekdays.
The major difference between you and me is that I am a good person and you are not.
Live and on demand.
I love a sunburnt country. A land of sweeping plains. Of ragged mountain ranges. Of drought and flooding rains. When the lucky country isn't so lucky.
Lucky you're with Amy.
Welcome back to the weekly final for Mastermind. It is now time for James to take on his general knowledge round. So will our final contender please meet me in the chair? Your name?
James Sterling Wilson.
Occupation?
Audio producer and presenter.
And what was the name of the quizzing league that you remember of again?
The Quiz League of London.
Hopefully everybody in the Quizzing League of London is cheering you on, albeit being very early in the morning over there right now.
Yeah, there's some enemies in there that are wishing for my downfall, but, you know, screw them.
I had no idea there was so much drama in the Quizzing League.
Well, you know, if you beat the same people enough times, they tend to hold a grudge.
All right, James, are you ready?
I guess so.
Your time starts now. What is the adjective in the sentence? The contestant tugged nervously at the collar of his red shirt because he didn't know the answer.
Nervously.
Red. Being utilised in more and more everyday applications, from image creation to autonomous vehicles, AI stands for what 2 words?
Artificial intelligence.
Correct. Disrupt Burrup Hub is an environmental protest group seeking to hamper the development of a major gas project in which Australian state?
Western Australia.
Correct. What stage musical features a cast of puppets and the songs What Do You Do with the BA in English and It Sucks to Be Me?
Avenue Q.
Correct. Michelle Martin, Sarah Fitzgerald and Heather Mackay have all been inducted into the Sport Australia Hall of Fame for their success. In what sport?
Tennis.
Squash. What Australian supermarket slogan consisting of the same word said twice came from the title of a rock song by British band Status Quo?
Woolworths.
Down, Down, I Need. The Mel Brooks film High Anxiety is a parody of the work of which legendary English director known as the master of suspense?
Alfred Hitchcock.
Correct. The flag of Wales features a green and white background and a large red depiction of what mythical creature?
Dragon.
Correct. Held concurrently with the Archibald and Schulman prizes is what art prize for Australian landscape painting or figure sculpture?
Franklin.
Win. The babies of anteaters, armadillos, hamsters, bats, moles and seals are all known by what 3-letter word starting with P?
Pup.
Correct. Marvin Lee Aday was the birth name of which US rock singer whose Bad Out of Hell album re-entered the charts in 2022?
Meatloaf.
Correct. Nicknamed the Bronze Bomber, American Deontay Wilder is a former Olympic medalist who turned professional in what sport?
Boxing.
Correct. LIGO is an acronym for a facility that detects gravitational waves from deep space, with the L standing for what highly focused light source?
Laser.
Correct. Starring Lucy Liu as Dr. Watson and Johnny Lee Miller as Sherlock Holmes, which contemporary detective series is named after one of Holmes' often used words?
Elementary.
Correct. Construction of the Taj Mahal in Agra, India took place over 16 years in which century?
17th.
Correct. Widely perceived as a cat, which fictional character owned by Japanese company Sanrio is often depicted wearing an iconic red bow?
Hello Kitty.
Correct. Hello, correct answer. You picked up 12 points.
I will take that any day of the week.
You should. That was quite remarkable. We will see you way later in the program for Slow Burn, but for now, head back to your chair.
Thanks, Mark.
And with the end of the general knowledge round, let's have a look at those scores. Right now in 4th place with 8 points is Russell. Tied in 2nd place, both with 9 points, is Eliza and Carolyn. And yes, in the lead at the moment on 12 points is James. But now it's time for Slow Burn. Now, we've seen in the last 2 Fridays just how much this round can completely change the game. There are 10 points on offer. There's no timer, but the contenders will be deprived a point as each clue passes without an answer. Tonight's topics are a franchise, a historical event, a person, and a TV show. Contenders will choose their category, starting with the contender in 4th place. And my advice to you all is this: be strategic with your choice of topic and your timing, because you will only get one shot at an answer. First up in the chair, Russell. By virtue of going first, you have all 4 options available to you: a franchise, historical event, a person, or a TV show.
Tough ones. Person, please.
A person. All right. You have 10 clues on offer, starting with this. In 2011, the Ministry of Culture of the People's Republic of China banned this person for, quote, being vulgar.
Next.
Their first big screen acting credit is for the 2013 film Machete Kills.
Next.
At the Grammy Awards in 2011, 121 people earned a Guinness World Record for the largest gathering of impersonators of this person.
More, please.
Her stage name is derived from a 1984 single released by a British band, and her fans are known as Little Monsters and refer to her as Mother Monster.
I would like to solve, please.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Lady Gaga?
It is Lady Gaga. Was it the Little Monsters that gave it away?
Definitely.
You picked up that on clue number 7 on top of your 8. That brings you up to 15 points.
Great.
How you feeling?
That was great, yeah.
You're now the man to beat. Russell, head back to the chair for me.
Happy.
And now, can we please have Eliza? So, franchise, historical event, or TV show?
I have to do TV show.
Okay, we are looking for a TV show. You have 10 clues, starting with this. In 2008, a board game of this TV show was released by Imagination Games. It was initially broadcast from 2005 to 2011, before being revived with its original stars in 2018.
Oh, keep going.
Lisa McCune, Emily Browning, and Jeffrey Rush have all appeared in episodes. Its 200th episode in 2009 featured a section of a symphony orchestra. It originally played on the ABC on Wednesday nights at 8:30 p.m, straight after The New Inventors.
I'll just go ahead and guess. Oh, no. Is it Kath and Kim?
It is not. I'm going to give you a few other clues to see if you would have gotten it.
Yeah.
Regular segments on the show include Know Your Product, Substitute, and The Final Countdown.
Yeah. It's Spicks and Specs.
It is Spicks and Specs. Unfortunately, you don't get any points out of that round. But Eliza, thank you so much for being part of the show. Not just you, but your dad as well. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
Head on back. After the break, our final two contenders, Carolyn and James, will face their slow burn challenge, and we will see you in just a moment.
We know owning a car these days isn't cheap. Parking, daily costs, and fuel can really add up. You know every dollar counts, and sometimes walking just won't cut it. Did you know you can save 10% on your car insurance premium when you buy a new policy online with GIO's online discount? Get a quote today. You know, with GIO.
They sorted my electric car here, just in time for school pickup. Better go.
We got a tyre change here.
Dad forgot his tools.
They got my van back on the road with a new battery. Before, everything got a bit, melty.
The NRMA is Australia's largest roadside assistance network.
I locked my keys in the...
There you go.
Thanks.
Too easy.
We get you moving every time, no matter where you are. This is roadside assistance.
Call it a miracle drug.
Something is happening here.
Maybe that drug's just a tad more addictive than you said.
Dope 6 stream free on SBS On Demand.
Next week on Mastermind, we have subjects including 20th century chess, the films of Nora Ephron, First Nations footballers, Midnight Oil, and much, much more. I'll see you Monday, 6 p.m, right here on SBS. Welcome back. This is Mastermind. Our final two contenders, Carolyn and James, are about to take on their slow burn challenge. The current overall score to beat is 15, and up next in the chair is Carolyn. So currently you're on 9 points and you have the option of a historical event or a franchise.
Take the historical event.
You have 10 clues on offer and you're starting with this. This event shares its name with a 1995 studio album by UK prog rock band Caravan. It is the subject and title of a play by Richard Cumberland, staged at the Drury Lane Theatre in October 1778. An annual reenactment of this event takes place on its site on the weekend closest to October 14, the date it occurred.
Not yet.
The event was a battle that resulted from the death earlier the same year of a childless king that led to a succession struggle among several claimants.
Not yet.
It lasted from about 9 a.m to dusk, and it is generally thought that each side fielded anywhere from 5,000 to 7,000 troops.
I'm going to give it a go. Is it the Battle of Waterloo?
It is not. It is the 1066 Battle of Hastings.
Oh, right. Well,
unfortunately, Carolyn, you do not collect any points out of that round. But thank you so much for being part of the show. Been an absolute joy. Head back to your chair.
thank you.
And finally, James. James, you are currently on 12 points. 15 is the number to beat.
Okay.
And you are looking for a franchise. Here is your first clue. This franchise consists of films, video games, animated series, books, toys, and other media. Although they were black and white, original releases had colours in the titles. This franchise is jointly owned by 3 companies: Nintendo, Game Freak, and Creatures.
I'd like to answer the question. Pokemon.
And James just picked up 8 points. Well done. It is, in fact, Pokemon. Some other clues we did not get to. Squirtle, Bulbasaur, Weedle are some of Generation 1 species, while Generation 9 include Florigato, Skeledirge, and Spidops. The only reason I said that clue was because I wanted to say Skeledirge on national TV. Congratulations, you picked up 8 points, as I mentioned, on top of your 12. You are now on 20. James, head back to your chair.
Thank you.
And that is the end of the slow burn round, which means we have our final scores. Tied in third place, both on 9 points, is Eliza and Carolyn. In second place, with 15 points, is Russell. And in first place, on his 20 points, is James. Well done to all of you, but an amazing effort by tonight's winner, James. Congratulations, you joined last week's winner, Jessie Rye, in the semi-finals, and that is our show for tonight. Thank you so much for watching and playing along at home. Come, take a spin at the black chair by visiting sbs.com.au/mastermind. I'm Mark Fennell. I'll see you next week. Until then, good night.
Slow burn, I was hoping for franchise. When I heard there's a game franchise and it's in black and white and in colour, and then Game Freak, I knew it the moment he said it. For the semi, it's time to start learning lists. Melbourne Cup winners, Prime Ministers, AFL champions. I've got to nail down. If I win the bowl, it is going straight up on the mantelpiece. Pride and place, nothing's going inside it ever.